Hey guys, what's up? It is the day before Thanksgiving, and this is our season closeout. So crazy. Another season down. What, season 6?
Yep,
already.
season 6. Yes, I'm so excited for this time of year too. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. So coming up on the best time of year, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah. We'll talk about all things, what we're grateful for, but obviously, as always, just want to recap the season. We had some amazing people on the show, but first, as always, Erica, what's in your glass?
Well, I'd be happy to tell you. It is a Whitco mixed mocktail made with Whitco's Sweater Weather cocktail mixer, which is, I should go grab it, but it's apple cider and some really fun fall flavors. And I highly recommend it. We are recording this at like 1:00 in the afternoon. So we did not add any liquor to it, but it would be amazing as like a hot toddy or something like that. But for now, we are just having a mocktail.
I know.
Love that for us.
It's delicious, which here it is in this cute little coupe with our half straws. It's pretty good. Yeah, highly recommend getting one of those from Whitco. They are absolutely delicious, and all of their cocktail mixers are amazing. So
yeah, the bouquet one, I think I've been sipping on like the bouquet one and the Hey Girl one in previous episodes. So obviously we love them, highly recommend. Their team is great. They're great. And I think we might be doing a giveaway with them. So stay tuned for that.
Yes, stay tuned. Erica, what do you have for us next?
I was just going to lead us into our favorite moments and episodes from this season. Like always, we love to just share a little recap of everything we talked about and all of our amazing guests from the season. So Cassie, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah. So the first person I have on my list is Nidhi Bhagat from ESPN. So she and I had an awesome conversation about her career. She started in film and production, which I love all things film and production. So it was super cool to hear about her experience there and how it ties into the world of marketing. She does a lot of video production with ESPN. And so chatted with her about telling short, snappy stories for social and how that kind of ties into her experience creating long form content. So obviously creating documentaries, stories are super important. And so she has a lot of that knowledge that she's able to bring to the table for marketing. And she also shared a lot of great career advice as well with us because she popped in and out of the same companies a couple times. And so just wanted to hear from her about maintaining those relationships with those brands, not burning bridges after you leave a company, and what it's like to pursue a future role with that same company down the road.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kara actually did that as well. Kara was our first guest from this season from Southwest Airlines, and Cassie and I both love Southwest Airlines. We were more than happy to have her on the podcast. We actually talked with her during our Clubhouse days. And so it was fun to catch up and see where she's at now. But she did the same thing that Nidhi did. She interned with Southwest Airlines and then went back a little bit later on to join their social business team. So she gave us a little bit of an inside look around influencer campaigns and things like that. They've sent people to Hawaii. So you get to hear about that in the episode. And then kind of what makes a great influencer pitch. She also does the internal social media, which is internal communications, is something we haven't really talked a lot about on the podcast. Besides, I think in the first season, Sylvester from NASA was on and talked about that. But it was really just fun to hear a behind the scenes look at everything that Southwest is up to. And it's kind of fun to see things come to fruition, like from the time that we recorded with her to now. Some things that she was talking about have launched, like their TickTock channel. So definitely go check that out. And yeah, that was one of my favorite moments from the episode as well.
Yeah. So another one I have on my list is with Sara of Heelys. So Sara was so much fun. We had her towards the end of the season there. And she talked a lot about really innovative but approachable ways to build community and learn more about your audience. So when you think about big businesses, big brands, and the internal platforms that they use to do a lot of social listening, at least my mind goes immediately to spending a ton of money to buy all these platforms to maintain just connection with your audience. And she basically told us, no, you don't need all of those tools. Yeah, they're helpful, but just using Google Analytics, DMs on the platforms themselves, and just paying attention to what your community and customers are posting about, what they're talking about, what they're concerned about, can tell you all you need to know really about your audience. And so she's built great rapport with her community through those brands. And so was super exciting and just refreshing to kind of hear her approach to all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's great. And she does a really good job too of personal branding on LinkedIn and things like that. So we touch on that a little bit in the episode as well. But speaking of community, we had Karissa on the podcast of Kindred, which she actually just launched her website, Kindred, and her whole brand, Kindred, I think like just after we released the episode. So super fun. Check that out. But she was also talking about growing a community on social media. She does a really great job on her own social media, on her own Instagram, of just like curating a fantastic relationship and making every follower feel like they're one of her close friends. And so I think there's lessons in there that you can use for your brand, or even just yourself if you're trying to build your personal brand and things like that. We also have a heart to heart at the end about kind of leaning into what makes sense for you, and just talking about, you know, future career moves and how it's totally okay to not know exactly what you want to be doing. And that really leads in really well to Alex from Later. We just had her on the podcast last week. She's incredible. Cassie and I both love the platform Later. It's a social media management and link in bio tool that's like one of our favorite things to use. Definitely check them out. We have a code for 2 months free. It expires in February of 2023, but we will put that in the show notes of this episode, and then also in the show notes of last week's episode. But she just also talks a lot about serious knowledge around a career in performance marketing. This is an episode that you need to come with a pen and paper and be taking notes. Don't listen to it on a run. Don't listen to it in the car. You got to take notes on this one if you are considering anything in the world of analytics or performance marketing in general, paid ads, all of that good stuff. She's an expert, and they do an amazing job over at Later. So it's really fun to see behind the curtain there.
Yeah, I think it's good too, just to know how that stuff works from an organic standpoint, just because I think a lot of times we look at paid media teams or performance marketing teams and we're like, we have no clue what they do, how they work.
Yeah.
And so having just cohesive energy between the two departments is so important. So next person I have on my list is Adam. And so Adam shared a lot about TickTock and short form videos, and
super cool.
Super cool to see how he's built a couple brands now, their TikToks basically from scratch, and turn them into hundreds of thousands worth of followers on those platforms. And so talked a lot about creating short and snackable content on there, but also gave us a lot of career insights. He's pivoted between nonprofit to profit, from aquariums to the sports card industry. And so just really great to hear how that process was for him, and just peeling the curtain back on what it's like to shift between industries and types of businesses.
Yeah. And it's so fun. I feel like a lot of the guests that we've had on our podcast are moving down to Florida. I know he's one that's moving back. So we're trying to recruit everybody to move down to Florida and hang out with us. We actually were going to have an in-person meetup for our marketing happy hour listeners and guests. So stay tuned. We might have that in the future as well. But I know you had one more, I think, that you wanted to chat about too first.
Yeah. So Natasha Samuel was closer to the beginning of the season, and Natasha is an Instagram queen. She knows everything about the platform. I feel like recently I've been kind of out of touch with Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because my efforts and brain have been more focused on TikTok and LinkedIn, and LinkedIn's one of my favorite platforms. And so one of the first things I asked her is, how do you readjust your mindset about Instagram, especially now? Because I know a lot of people in marketing and just creators, anyone really using the platform, I think is just frustrated with the platform, to be honest. And so she kind of helped me regain confidence in the platform, figuring out how to use it amidst all of the weird algorithm changes and all of the things going on, because I know I needed that boost of confidence in the platform. And speaking of confidence too, she is a video confidence coach. And so talked a lot about just getting confident in front of the screen. I know a lot of people I talk to are afraid to show their face on camera and
I don't like
do
doing
it
it.
very often. I'm not good at frequency of it. And so she just shared just easy ways to plan, prepare, boost your confidence there. One of the things she shared was just creating an outline. If you're recording some sort of educational video or something like that, just preparing a short outline can really help your confidence if you go into it knowing what you're going to talk about. So her conversation was really great. But yeah, this season was amazing. We had some awesome content.
I know. And it's fun too. A couple of the guests that we had on this season were from our Clubhouse days. And so it was just really cool to see, like, from back then, now it's been like over a year and a half ago to now, like all the things that have changed. And so actually that's what we want to talk about next is what we learned about marketing or life in general through this season. Cassie, take it away.
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things I'm going through right now in my career is just figuring out like how I want to shape my business slash career in the future. And I feel like I've always had some sort of grasp on where I'm headed, what I want to do, like what I want my role to look like in the future or my business to look like in the future. And right now, to be honest, I have no idea. And that took me a while to come to terms with that and be like, I'm okay with this and I'm going to figure it out. I need to take the time to like kind of shape this and grow this. But I think it's okay. And I think that's hopefully reassuring to you listening, because a lot of us have no clue where we're headed. And I think just continuing to tap into your passions, the things that light you up, and just following those trends and continuing to build on that, I think is the biggest thing. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, holding on to what I'm passionate about, continue forward, and how can I kind of shape this into either a business, a future position, whatever it may be. So yeah, what about you?
Oh, I love that. And I think it's really important, like you said, for people to just understand that that's okay. Like I feel like when I was younger, I had this like narrative in my head of how I was supposed to like move forward in my career. Totally hasn't happened the way that I would have pictured. My younger self probably was like, oh, she'll be in the corner office in New York City by 28, but that is not the case. No. However, I will say that I have learned a lot about myself professionally and just as a human this season. So earlier on, I think it might have been right before this season began, I actually stepped away from my corporate job, which was very, very scary. It was the right time to do it. I was feeling very overwhelmed and just overloaded in my position. And it just there wasn't really a way out through speaking with a manager or anything like that. And so I reached a point where I was like, all right, it's time for me to leave. I don't know what I'm stepping into. I have a solid foundation for myself. I had saved some money so that I wasn't worried about that. I mean, I was worried about it, but I was like, I don't have to be as worried about it. So I stepped away, and almost, I think it was like not even 2 weeks later, I ended up landing my first like full-time consulting client. I had a couple of clients before that, just on the side and just kind of doing things like PR for them. But stepped away, not even 2 weeks later, things fell into place for me. And it's been great ever since then. I've kind of been stepping into this role of consulting, which is so fun for me. I kind of forgot my love of actually like marketing and brand partnerships and PR and everything, because I was just so bogged down in the day-to-day of trying to push out content and content and content. And so just having the opportunity to work with brands and think about the big picture and like how we can help further them has been so fun for me, and I am loving what I'm doing. So hopefully I'll continue to do that in the future. I don't really know what the future holds. I think, if there's a point where I'm not getting any more clients, like I'm going to have to look for another job. So that'll be another journey. So, but I think the overall like lesson that I've learned is just, that's okay. Your path is your path. And that sounds so like cheesy and weird, but it's totally true. And I think I should have done this a lot sooner, where I just like trusted myself and put myself in a position to succeed rather than just be so stressed out every day. So very grateful for that. And I'm just like reflecting on the year and kind of thinking about that journey, and then looking forward to what the heck is going on in the future.
Yeah.
So
we're
that's
all just
been
figuring it out here.
Yes, which is great. I actually love this time. I think
Yeah.
I don't know. I've also done a lot of like reflecting lately as I approach 30 years old, which is, you know, still 2 years away, but, and it's actually not even as big of a deal as it used to be because people are living longer. But I've just done this thing where I'm like, why do I have all these randomly constructed ideas of like what my life is supposed to look like? Like, life, you can do whatever you want, and that seems weird to say, or like that everyone should know that already, but I think we get into a headspace where we're like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing this, I need to be doing this, I need to be doing that, when in reality, like, I don't know, the most freeing thing is like just knowing that you have total control. I mean, other than God having a plan for your life, but you have total control of what you're doing on the day to day. And that's been so fun for me to just step into that season.
Yeah.
So enough about me, but
no,
anyway.
That was so good. So good. And I think we need to talk about that more specifically with like job stuff, you know, making those tough decisions. It's terrifying, but
oh yeah,
it just pays off if you feel like it's the right thing to do. And you know, just going for that, that's going to open a lot of doors because it frees your brain and your energy to think about what that next step is. So
Cassie knows how tough of a time I went through. I literally would text her probably every single day, just like, I can't take this anymore. I can't do it anymore. So, and every single time she was like, leave. And I was like, I cannot.
Better said than done. I get it. Better said than done. But I think this was a good lesson, and excited for you, and we'll keep talking about it because it's a good thing to share, and I think people need to hear that.
Yeah, and I'm excited to give the update next time we have one of these catch-up sessions of like what is going on in my life, who even knows what'll be happening. So anyway, we wanted to talk a little bit quickly about our Marketing Happy Hour Insiders group on LinkedIn. We have been searching for a place to kind of connect further with our community of listeners, of guests, all of the things. And we're testing out LinkedIn groups as the platform to do that on. I don't know if it's 100% successful, but we would love to catch you there. Or if anybody has ideas of like other ways that we can connect as a community more, please reach out to us because we would love to. We love talking with people, but the just back and forth on DMs doesn't do it for us. We want a better place to do that. So if you're interested, for now, we're going to keep up this LinkedIn group, Marketing Happy Hour Insiders. If you're interested, the link will be in the show notes. Please join, please introduce yourself, talk to us about what you do and what episodes you're loving, and just, we'd love to get to know you. So just wanted to say that and put that out there as well. And then looking forward to Marketing Happy Hour Season 7. We have a surprise for you.
What is it?
Well, I would like to tell you, it is actually going to be a never-ending season. What does that mean? That means that we are not stopping for season breaks any longer. We will have an episode out every single week for you guys, which is so exciting, and we're very excited about it. We know it's a lot more work, but we are thrilled to be able to do this for you guys and just connect further with other marketing professionals and just keep it going, keep the momentum up.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more conversations with guests, but also just hearing from the two of us too. You know, if we have a specific topic that we feel passionate about, you know, leaving your job, like what that's like, and we just want to pop on and record some content for you guys, we're going to do a lot of that too. And so just want to continue to expand and diversify the content that you're listening to and show up in your podcast app every single week, which is exciting.
And now Cassie and I live like 5 minutes down the road from each other. I moved.
This is the time to do it.
It is the time to do it. We are are very excited.
Yeah.
We also have some really incredible guests that are joining us for the first little section of season 7 that we've already recorded with. We've got Barry from Auntie Anne's and Jamba, and our conversation is incredible. So stay tuned for that. We'll also have our 50th episode, which is wild. I cannot believe we've done 50 episodes so far. And then we'll also have Nina from Sidewalker Daily coming on, talking about influencer marketing, all of that good stuff. We will actually be on her podcast as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, super excited. Yeah, lots of stuff in the works too. So we'll continue to let you guys know as those things come up. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Super excited. Never ending season. It'll be fun.
So fun. I'm thrilled. Also, I wanted to touch on a little bit here, just some goals that we have for Marketing Happy Hour in the new year. We talked about it. We're doing a never ending season, AKA just every single week. We're going to do some meetups in person. We're going to do some events. We're going to just get to know our community even more and figure out more ways to serve you. But we're also going to be looking at sponsorships and partnerships and growing the consulting side of our business Marketing Happy Hour versus just the podcast Marketing Happy Hour. So that is all very exciting. We're speaking it into existence. The past year and a half, we've really completely self-funded, been scrappy, spent so much time and energy on this podcast because we love doing it and we love connecting with this community. But we want to be able to elevate that and lift it even further. And so we will be exploring some partnerships and figuring out how we can step into a season where we can improve our offerings with a little bit of funding as well. I think it's very great to just speak that into existence in case anybody is listening that is looking to advertise on a podcast or partner with a podcast or us in any way. Reach out to us. We are here for you.
Yeah. And if you're like, consulting, what does that mean? What can Cassie and Erica do? You know,
we'll do
reach out to us.
Well, yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Yeah. But also we'll do a whole episode on consulting and kind of our services and stuff. I'm kind of thinking about having one of my clients on to just talk about the things that I've done with them. And the ways that we can work with people. So stay tuned for that as well. I feel like I've said stay tuned for that so many times.
So many things. Yes.
Cassie, because it is the last episode of the year, what has been your favorite episode from the entire year 2022?
Oh my goodness. I think honestly, one of my favorites was Sarah's episode. Mostly because, again, this is so silly to say, but her strategies were so approachable. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard marketing tips somewhere and I'm like, sounds great, but how do I do this? Or sounds great, but like, I need money to be able to do XYZ. And so that was really cool to see. I also loved Alex from Later, again, just because we are the biggest fans ever. And I personally don't do a lot of performance marketing or paid media, but I think that conversation was helpful and I want to do more of it in the future. And so I learned a lot from her and just how to use her platform that she works for. And again, just huge fans of that brand. So yeah, those were probably 2 of my highlights. What do you think?
I love it. Anyone who knows me in real life knows that I'm super indecisive. So I'm trying not to sit here and say so many of them and give you all of my thoughts on all of them, but I will choose 2 because I can't just choose one. We recorded with Alice Hampton of ACP Management. That episode was published actually in January, which I actually thought that was from last year, but I'm looking at our thing here and it says that it was published on January 27th. So I think that that's one of my favorite episodes of all time. She is an incredible powerhouse of just an agent and just gives so much wonderful advice around influencer marketing, but also just like working with people. I think anybody out there should listen to that episode.
Yes.
I would also say one of my favorites is the episode with Amy Santavica. She's one of my very close friends and she talks all about brand photo shoots, which seems like a very niche part of marketing, but it's a very valuable episode for anybody out there who works with a brand, especially if it's a startup or something like that, and you're trying to plan photo shoots and things like that. Definitely recommend listening to that. And it was just so fun to record with a close friend. So
oh my gosh,
love it, love it, love it.
Oh my gosh, loved all of those. I forgot that Alice was this year too. And then now I'm like thinking about other people that were my favorites.
That's
like Michelle Westfall. I'm like,
Zaria,
so many.
from
Zaria,
Duolingo.
Oh my gosh,
she was so good too. I don't know. They're all good, but I don't know.
So many.
It's fine.
All of you are amazing. We love you.
And thank you so much also to every single one of our guests from this year and even the past year and a half. Like, we couldn't do this without them. And so it's just so amazing that they were willing to come on and share all of their insight with us and with all of you. And we're very grateful for that as well. So just a little shout out and thank you there. All right, moving on into our favorite segment of these catch-up episodes, which I feel like we'll just have to do like a catch-up episode every now and then in the never-ending season of season 7.
We will.
The rapid fire time.
Ooh.
Okay, Cassie. So I'm stealing this from Carson's Just Keep Showing Up episode that we will actually be on in December. We'll make sure to give updates on that episode on social media. What is a purchase that you made this year that you don't regret?
Probably my iPad. My iPad, it's amazing. I love it. And if you are a note taker, I promise you that thing is incredible. So
love that.
Yes.
Amazing.
How about you?
I am not that much of a material girly. I would say my laptop because it's actually amazing. And I was using my old laptop from 2012 and it just didn't work anymore. So the 10-year time frame of, I would say like, I bet a lifetime of a Mac computer is probably less than 10 years. So it was time. But other than that, I'm way more of a experiences gal. So I have gone to several concerts this year that have been amazing. I've done several trips this year that have been amazing. And so I think those would be the things that I'm most happy about purchasing this year.
Love that.
Amazing. Also, I just purchased, okay, speaking of Carson's episode, I think on there I said something about referencing Hailey Bieber's brand Rhode, and wanting the peptide lip mask.
Did you get it?
I got it. So I'm waiting to get it from, I shipped it to my parents' house because it was in the middle of moving. So I will be trying it. I'll let you guys know how it is, but I imagine that that's a purchase that I also will not regret. So.
Oh my gosh, I need to try it. Let me know what you think.
Oh my gosh, I totally will. I've heard so many good things, but it's always sold out. So I literally set my alarm, went on, grabbed it when it became available again. But anyway, what is something that we did this year together that you'll think you'll remember for the rest of your life, other than this podcast?
So
don't steal mine.
Shoot. What did we do together? We went to the John Mayer concert.
We did
at Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida, which was incredible. It was my first concert post-COVID or still at the end of COVID.
Oh no, it wasn't.
I was going to say you've been to some, but it was, I cannot tell you like how magical the experience was. And I like wanted to shed a tear because I was so happy to be back with like people and enjoying music and everything. And so John Mayer is also my all-time favorite artist. So that was pretty great. What about you?
Yes. I've been waiting to share this just because I love the fact that we went to this event and just like didn't know anything about it. And we were like, what are we getting ourselves into? We went to an opening for a hotel here in Tampa. It is the first 5-star hotel in Tampa, and it's gorgeous. It's called The Addition. There's some in several different cities across America, and actually probably across the world. I don't know. But their opening party that we went to, it was a private show of Lenny Kravitz.
Incredible.
Who would have even thought that Lenny Kravitz was out here like just killing it? Like, he's amazing. And I would have never been like, oh, let's go see a Lenny Kravitz show.
Yeah.
But that was so much fun.
So
and I'm going to remember that literally forever. It was the funniest night. We met random people. Nobody there was really from Tampa. It was like everybody from
New York City,
LA.
Yeah.
It was just so fun to just like meet new people and chat about I don't even know, Tampa hotel things and Lenny Kravitz. So
Amazing.
Shout out to Lenny. We love you.
Shout out to Lenny, Jordan, all of our friends.
Oh yes, Andrew. Yeah. All of our friends that we met, Brooke, I remember. Yeah.
So fun.
Anyway, what new and unexpected hobby have you started this year? I don't even know if I have a good answer to this one.
I don't know. I've done a lot of DIY. I might have already mentioned this at some point, but I've been doing a lot of DIY stuff at home. We bought a house like less than a year ago. So this year has been all filled with like painting furniture, redoing this, doing this to my house, painting like canvases and things like that. And so I would say that's probably one of the big things. What about you?
I love that. I don't know that I've done a lot of hobby things this year, but I have like, I walk now every morning. And so that's like my time to just listen to podcasts, other podcasts, just kind of like set a great intention for the day. And so I really enjoy doing that. I don't think that's a hobby. It's just like exercise, but I didn't used to do it and I started doing it this year. So totally highly recommend that.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the most challenging part of this year for you?
Probably kind of what I said earlier in this episode about like figuring out where my life is going and career. And I think that's the biggest one. It's been challenging, but I think, like I said, it's also been good to go through this time and to just push myself to self-reflect and figure out where my career's headed. So I would say that's the biggest one. What about you?
Same. I'm not going to talk about it more because I feel like I just talked about it for like 30 minutes straight. But same. That whole like time period, just trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do was very, very challenging. But I am happy to be on the other side of that.
Yes.
Okay. What is the next trip you're going to take?
Hopefully, so I'm going to Kentucky for a few days for the holiday, to see family, and then hopefully like New York
with me.
January? Is that January? That's not this year technically, but
the next trip that you're gonna take.
Yeah.
Also I changed the trip, so I'll have to tell you the new dates and everything. So anyway, news. But we'll hopefully be going there. Cassie and I love New York. When she lived there, I visited her several times and we are in love with the food scene there and everything. So very excited to go back. I haven't been back in about 2 years, so it's time. I will also in January be going to DC for a concert with my friend Carly. I'm very excited about that. And I don't think, I'll be going to Michigan in December as well to go see Heather McMahon, my favorite comedian who also has a podcast. Shout out to Absolutely Not. That's one of the podcasts I listen to on my walk every Wednesday. And also, actually, I think that's it. Those are my upcoming trips.
Yeah, I need to plan more things. Keep up.
I need to take a time of rest. I need to not be traveling that much, so we'll balance it out. Okay, what are you most looking forward to in the new year?
Self-reflection time, a vacation. I have not taken like an actual
You need one
vacation. I know. I think like New York, when we went to New York, was kind of a vacation, but kind of not, because it's a lot. You do a lot of things, which I love it, but we were also there with family. So I need like me, my husband time, nothing else. Beach, pool, chill. Yeah. So that's probably what I'm looking forward to. What about you?
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm looking forward to next year. I haven't sat down and made any sort of like goals or vision boards or anything. So nothing super, we should do that. But nothing super crazy yet. I'm just kind of like going with the flow, seeing where life leads. And I'm in a new city now. So just kind of developing my life in my new city. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Love it.
So yes. Okay, 2 more questions. This one's fun. What's your favorite Thanksgiving episode of TV? Do you have one?
Probably Friends. I know that's like so.
Everybody says that one, but it's okay. Mine is the same.
It's so good.
Mine's not Friends, but it's also one that everyone always says.
Which
Actually,
one?
any of the Thanksgiving episodes from Gossip Girl. Those are just always my favorite.
Or
Gilmore Girls, like always the best.
Yes. Love.
Okay. The last thing is, what are you most thankful for this year?
A lot of things. But I'm gonna say something that's not as simple and basic. I think, well, it's kind of basic, but I think just like health, like especially with like COVID and all this stuff, like health is a big one. We've also had a lot of family members with like weird health things going on. And so thankful just to be healthy and alive and breathing. I don't know. What about you?
That's really good. I want to go with that too, but
yeah.
I didn't really think about this question. I was just like, oh, it's a good one. So let me think for a hot second. I am thankful, just like I said earlier, to be on the other side of all of the turmoil I feel like I went through in just my personal life and my work life earlier this year. And also just the friendships that I've made this year, and just continuing on with, friendships, family from previous years and all sorts of things. So yeah, I think just thankful for just life in general.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
That's fine. It's basic, but it's good. It's good to be thankful.
I mean, if you weren't thankful for your life, that would be really sad.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, that kind of brings us to the end of this episode, then the end of Marketing Happy Hour for this year, and the end of the last season, where we will have a season break, because we will be kicking off in January. January 5th, I believe, is the first Thursday.
I was just going to confirm. I think that is correct. Yep. January 5th.
Catch us January 5th. Cannot wait. Please reach out in the meantime if you have any questions or want to be on the podcast or want us to talk about certain things or anything. Please reach out to us. And lastly, I wanted to point out that my wish list this year for Christmas, I don't know about you, Cassie, but my wish list consists of one thing, and that is for everybody listening to this episode to review the podcast on your favorite platform, and not just hit the stars, however many stars you want. Please write a review. I heard this on another podcast, just the way that you would tip like a bartender or like your server or someone in the hospitality industry. The way that you are able to tip a podcast host is to leave a review, because that helps boost the podcast, helps give us a better place to continue doing what we love to do and continue serving you. So if you're out there, you're listening to this, even if you're in your car, don't pull over. Don't pull over. Don't do it right now, but do it later. Come back to this. Make sure you write a review, because it just helps us so much, and we truly, truly appreciate it. And that is it for this episode.
Yeah. That's all I want for Christmas too. Yeah. In a nutshell. Eric and I are gonna go under the tree, and it's just gonna be it's gonna be look at your phone.
Look at these reviews. So yeah,
no, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
We really do. From on just like a very sincere note, we really do appreciate you. It's so like weird to us. Like, we never thought we would be podcast hosts. Like, that was just never something that we aspired to do, but it's something that we kind of fell into, and just something that's so fun to just get to know other people in marketing. And I think having a community of people that you can talk to about your career and just things that you might be thinking of along those lines. Like, I remember Cassie and our other friend Carly and I would always talk. I mean, we still do, but we would always talk about our careers in marketing. And I didn't really have any other friends who were in the space besides people that I worked with. And so it was really, really nice to just have that sounding board. And I think that's what we're aspiring to do with Marketing Happy Hour. So it's just been so great to see this community grow and just be able to connect with each other. So we really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and being involved and chatting with us and chatting with each other. It's been so cool to see. So
super excited about what's to come and have a lot more in store for you all. So thanks for being here. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your year, and we'll continue to we'll continue
Cheers.
to be in touch with you guys on social media throughout the next like month and a half as we take a season break. We're not going away anywhere. So stay tuned to LinkedIn, Instagram, Insiders Group on LinkedIn, all the things. We will be there in the meantime.
Catch you then.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.